Dillon continues to dominate in the picks. So it's time for some drastic measures. This is going to hurt you more than it hurts me.
I didn't even see that over there.
It's going to hurt me more than it hurts. Okay, fine. And we'll get to the picks in a moment. But hey, welcome into the DJ Preps football preview show. That's hashtag DJ Preps.
Right.
Use the hashtag on Twitter, by the way. Dylan Barnes, Brad Locke, and we are here to talk more high school football. We're in the playoffs. Everybody's in the playoffs. Well, all the games are now playoff games. Not everybody made the playoffs, obviously, especially this year with everything going on. In fact, we've had several games canceled, mostly in the South, but a couple up here too. So let's thank our sponsor, of course, Pizza Doctor. Got me some barbecue chicken right here. Good stuff.
You spilled some on your shirt. Gotta clean it up.
Fine. It's fine. You can find Pizza Doctor in Tupelo, Midtown Point. I know this is rude to talk to my mouth full, but I don't care. All right, let's get to the last week's predictions. Good news, I'm back to 500. I went 2-1.
It's good.
Makes me 14-14. Dylan, this is the bad news. Dylan went 3-0 again. What's this, 6 weeks in a row?
I think it's 5 weeks in a row, I think.
That's ridiculous. Nobody has that kind of luck. I think there's some kind of fraud going on. I'm gonna file a lawsuit. Okay, so he's 22-6 overall. It's over. Yeah, I don't know why we even bother making picks anymore. I'm not going to catch them. Like I said, a lot of big playoff games this week. We got some first round games for 1A, 5A, 6A, second round for 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to look at 3 of the bigger games, and there's a bunch. It was kind of tough to pick just 3, Dylan, because we got some really good matchups. So we'll start in 2A with Calhoun City at Mantachie. The Wildcats 7-2. They're no stranger to the playoffs. They're in it every year. They usually make a pretty deep run.
Been in it every year since '98.
Mantachie, on the other hand, not every year, but they've had a pretty solid season, haven't they?
Right. Yeah. They've Coach Ken Adams over there in his first year's really got them turned around real quick. They've only won last week. Their playoff win over Calhoun County was just their 4th win of the season. They've played up in their schedule. They played Magnolia Heights and Morrill and some of those losses, and took losses to bigger schools and stuff. And so he's got them turned around pretty quick. And first playoff appearance since 2016. So there you go.
All right, let's look at the 3 keys to the game for this one. Key number 1: the Mustangs. They've got to find a way to slow the run, because Calhoun City, of course, that's what they do every year. They run the ball very well. This year they're averaging 228 yards a game on the ground. You know, they got Jalen Artberry, among others. Jackson Lee, the quarterback, can run a little bit.
Yeah, and then they give Thomas Clayton the ball too at times, and
he can run it, catch it.
We've done a story on him this year. He's pretty important to their offense, what they do. So
most certainly. So, Mantachie's defense really going to need to find a way to stop that offense. Key number 2, well, kind of looking in the other direction. Calhoun City is going to need to be sharp against that single wing that Ken Adams likes to run. The old Notre Dame box, a lot of misdirection and fakes and guys going every which way, and it can be confusing.
Right,
but
takes a lot of discipline.
Yeah, but if you have the discipline and are able to, kind of figure out what to do, it can be stopped. We've seen that before. So Calhoun City definitely going to need to be sharp and disciplined against that Mantachie offense. Key number 3: which town is a bigger cell phone black hole? It's Mantachie. That's no question. Cal City's not great, but Mantachie's like straight up 2002. You go down there.
I haven't been to Mantachie since 2010, maybe. No, 2012. That was the last time I've been to Mantachie. So it's been a while, and I guess I really wouldn't worry about the cell phone when I was over there. So,
I've gone many times, not just for work, but my son, when he played youth basketball, the league played all their games at Mantachie High School. So I'd be in the gym just like, okay, this game's gotten out of hand, but I got to watch it.
I lied.
And let me tell you, watching a blowout in youth basketball is no fun.
I lied. I did go. One of the Division 1, 2A basketball tournaments was over there a few years ago, and I went over there to cover a Walnut game.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have been over there. I guess I never noticed the cell phone deal, but I'll be over there Friday, so I'll probably I'll probably be banging my phone, like wondering why I can't get none to work. So.
Okay, prediction time. I'll go first on this one. Can't pick against Calhoun City, man. They're really good this year. I mean, as much progress as Mantachie has made in just 1 year, Cal City, to me, will get the win, and I will say it will be 34-10.
It's been there, done that type of thing. And Calhoun City is just they're Calhoun City, and it's a tough matchup, I think, for Mantachie. So I'm going Calhoun City 48-17.
Okay. Game number 2, Pontotoc at Ripley, rematch in 4A. Pontotoc 9-1, Ripley 4-6. Ripley, of course, had that dramatic finish last week when Centavious Hunt returned to kickoff. How long was it? 75 yards with a second to go to give Ripley the win. And so, huge win there for Ripley to improve to 4-6. But Pontotoc won the first meeting. I think it was 31-20, was it not? Or 30-21.
Oh, it was 31-20.
Yeah, 31-20. So
they won by 11.
Yeah, so pretty close game. I think we might have another close one. Keys to the game. Key number 1 for Ripley, you got to just pound that ball, man. You got Hunt, I just mentioned him, Emmanuel Griffin, who's been a workhorse for that offense. And, of course, Perry Lyles, the former Calhoun City coach, now the coach there. And, that offense is kind of what you saw at Calhoun City, isn't it?
You're right. It's that veer option dive offense. And, they've got some young pieces running it and stuff, so it's kind of taken them a minute. And with the COVID and preparations and not having a spring or summer and all that stuff, it kind of took them a few games to get into it. But they're with Griffin and Hunt, they're picking it up as the season goes along. And they're doing a better job with it as of late.
Yeah,
so
definitely. Key number 2 for Pontotoc: avoid the turnovers, which they've been pretty good at taking care of the ball. But Ripley has forced 16 turnovers, and I guess have they played all 10 games? Any forfeits?
Yeah. They've played.
Okay, but anyway, still, that's a good average. Of course, Perry Lyles is known for his defense, and so if they can get some takeaways, that makes a huge difference.
They've played good teams. They got 6 losses on the year. I was talking to Perry Lyles earlier this week. He said, Dillon, he's like, we've had 6 losses, all 6 losses. All 6 of those teams are in the second round of the playoffs this week.
Yeah.
They Amory, Boonville, they've played well, and so the turnovers are getting against good teams, and they played Pontotoc. So
exactly.
And there it is. So
yeah. Okay. And key number 3. Who's the better play-by-play guy, Michael Harrison or John Luke McCord? Harrison, of course, does Ripley, and John Luke, whoever that is, does Pontotoc.
I know my vote on that one.
Harrison, I assume?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going Harrison because John Luke last week had got messed up by Max Preps. And was saying that Pontotoc and North Pontotoc, Clarksdale, was going to be matched up in the second round, the winner of those games, and said it the whole broadcast and didn't realize it until after he went off air.
Wow.
People were looking to buy tickets that don't
Call him out
during the game.
Well, Harrison's got a few years' experience.
Yes, he does.
And
really
that call he made last week.
Oh, that was gold.
That
was gold.
That was great. No, John Luke, you're fine. You're fine. Someday you'll be a Michael Harrison. Someday. Okay, we need to make a prediction here. You go first, Dillon.
I went back and forth with this one a little bit just because I think this may actually be the game of the week. Really, I think it's that close. They kind of match up well. I just think Pontoc's a little more experienced, and you always want to go with the team. They're hot. They've won like 8 games in a row and things like that. And I think I just go with a more experienced team that's kind of just got more overall talent too right now. And I go Pontotoc 28-16. Okay,
yeah. Of course, as I've mentioned before, I've made the mistake of picking against Pontotoc too many times, so I'm not going to do it anymore. At least not this week for sure. I think it will be a close game. The Ripley defense tends to keep them in games, and they've got a good running game. If they can eat up some clock, they'll keep it close. Again, they kept it close last time.
Yeah,
they're at home.
Yeah.
So, but still, I'm going to take Pontotoc in this one. I'm going to say 24-12.
Yeah. Ripley was up 20-19 in the third quarter in their regular season.
That's right.
And then had some things to go against them, and Pontotoc ended up finishing it out. So I think either way it's going to be a close game. And it wouldn't shock me to see, look at the phone Friday night and see Ripley won it. It wouldn't shock me at all. So.
No, me either. All right, third and final game in 6A, first round, Warren Central at Tupelo. Warren Central 8-2, Tupelo 6-4. Tupelo finishing second in Division 1 to 6A. Warren Central third in the extremely tough 2-6A. I mean, Starkville didn't even make the playoffs, for crying out loud. That's how tough 2-6A is. Keys to the game for Tupelo: number 1, no special teams breakdowns. Last week against Oxford, not 1 but 2 punts were blocked, and they both led directly to touchdowns for Oxford in that 25-14 Tupelo loss. So can't have that happen again. And every once in a while on kick returns or punt returns, they'll have a drop or a muff, and you got to be a lot cleaner than that against a team like Warren Central for sure. Key number 2. Who will have the better rushing night? They both can run the ball pretty well. Tupelo, led by Kyson Brown, averages 147 yards a game on the ground. Warren Central averages 164. And they got a dual threat quarterback. I forget his name at the moment, but he can run it as well. So, yeah, I mean, I think the game will be won on the ground for sure. And then key number 3. Will Dalton Hughes pull a Willis Reed and limp onto the field? How inspirational would that be? Of course, that's the Tupelo outside linebacker with the injury that knocked him out early in the season. Just limped out there for a few plays.
Yeah.
I mean,
fire up the team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Get him pumped.
All you got to do is make one tackle and come back out. You can go back to the sideline. And...
I'm sure the South Alabama coaches would love that.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Prediction time. Is it my turn? Yes. Warren Central is good, man. They're just really, really good. Tupelo, if they put it all together, like they have a couple of times this year, yeah, they can win.
Mm-hmm.
But they got to put it together. That's the problem. But I don't know, man. They got an elusive quarterback. If the defensive line can get into the backfield, well, then you got to count on your outside linebackers to track down the quarterback, and that's where Dalton Hughes would come in handy. I mean, I kind of want to pick Tupelo, but I can't do it, man. So we got to go with the Vikings in this one. I think it'll be close though. I'll go with 23-17, Warren Central.
I think both of these teams are very defensive heavy. When you look at Warren Central and the scores that they beat like Madison Central 8-0, that's kind of how they win ball games. And everything I've read about them, they're just really, really, really physical. Like that's their brand of football, and I just think that's a bad matchup for Tupelo.
Yeah.
And I think it's close, but I think it's low scoring. I think Warren Central gets them 14-7. So.
All right, there you go. Did we just agree on all 3 picks?
Yeah, we did.
That means I'm going to go 3-0 next week because that's all you do is go 3-0. Or I'm going to jinx you and we'll both go 0-3.
Yeah, that could happen.
Okay, let's close it out with the Double Trouble Award. Best 1-2 punch from last week. Going to go with Britton Bailey and Jadarius Shaw of Vardaman in a 26-6 win over Noxapater last week. It was a season finale for Vardaman. They didn't make the playoffs, but ended on a good note there. Bailey, the quarterback, was 11 of 17 for 189 yards and a touchdown pass. And Shaw, a wide receiver, had 9 catches, so 9 of those 11 completions went to Shaw. And he had 104 yards receiving as Vardaman got the win. So there you go. That is it for this episode of the DJ Preps Football Preview Show. Also, be sure to check out our podcast, Prep Rally. You can find it every Wednesday. We'll go record it here in a few minutes. You can find it in iTunes and even podcast apps or online at preprally.djournal.com. And follow us on Twitter at DJournalPreps. He's on there at Dylan Barnes DJ. I'm on there at Brad Locke. And once again, thank you to Pizza Doctor, Midtown Point in Tupelo for sponsoring the show and providing us with this delicious, delicious pizza. And now, John Luke, it's time for you to turn the camera away.